Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Oh my goodness. Let me do those. Can you see me? Can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me. Um I'm still using this new platform. But I can see your comments now. That's great. Oh gosh, I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. I hope everyone's having really good start to this week. That's you have your forecast. You know, it's gonna be like, all right, so y'all can hear me. That's great. It's so great to see y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I see it's someone's birthday. Who's DJ BTV? It's your birthday. I love that. Happy birthday. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is gonna be a year. Y'all, thanks for coming to the live stream. I am gonna talk about the North Node. I mean, we just had the nodal shift yesterday. And remember, with the nodal shifts, they're because they move backwards, they're strong, right? They're strong on the day because they're North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, 29 degrees. As we know, 29 is a critical degree. But all last week, we still had the North Node in Aries. It was at 0 degrees. It was very strong as well. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a couple other things that's going on, doing some channeling as well, channeled messages. And that's it. So we can get started. It's so great seeing y'all. Deep, this is your first live stream. Well, thank you for joining. Y'all, there's so much happening. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start with the fact that we are now finally we're leaving those energies. So if you remember your 2025, like your January forecast, I did say the first few weeks of January are going to be a little bit right. It's challenging. You're going to see things play out. And before I did your January forecast, I did a lot of channel messages. I told you what to look out for. I mentioned California not once but twice. Okay, and I also mentioned, I think, Juneau, Alaska. We know what happened there. You know, that was way back in, like, I think it was August. And there's a reason why there's, you know, certain cities that I see, or in certain states. Now California, you know, my heart clearly goes out to everybody in California right now, especially in the LA Palisades area. I mean, that's still going on. Okay. And there, listen, that's we okay, so you want to break it down? Let's break it down. What has happened in the past 2 weeks? We had the drones, we had that mysterious fog, right? We had nanovirus, the news about bird flu, we had the Tesla truck, we had even, you know, the current fires that are happening. We had, you know, the tragic incident that happened in New Orleans, the uh 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 the you know, the incident with the CEO in healthcare. So again, when I say Mars is going to be opposite Pluto and things are going to be a little bit hard, things are going to be a little bit hard, and we're going to touch upon some of those things because they all happened around the Mars Pluto opposition, but also Jupiter square Saturn. Mars was retrograde in Leo up until about January 6th, Leo being a fire sign, right? And then it moved into Cancer. Now it's all about water, with Mars in Cancer being a water sign. So you see that there was so many things happening at the same time. And it's just like, whoa, that's just the first 2 weeks, but we're leaving that energy now. Okay. So things are obviously going to start playing out. I did mention, I think I mentioned in my last live stream too. I said Hollywood is going to change. And so we're gonna and so we're gonna start seeing things play out. And I want to remind you, we do have another Mars Pluto opposition. Okay, that's gonna happen later in spring. It's going to be very different. Okay, it's going to be very different. So just know that I feel like, energetically, everyone's been going through some really heavy energies. Don't forget, it's not just that, it's the solar flares as well. We were at peak maximum. The first time it hasn't been this strong in decades. And that affects not only the earth, the humans, I feel like I think someone asked a question about um the energies around earth. Yes, there's changes. There are changes that are happening, and it's all about raising our frequency. Earth has a frequency itself. Okay, and so the solar flares are definitely contributing to that, or did contribute a lot to those energies. So we're about to go through this huge shift. Did you see your 2025 forecast? I said it's going to be it's going to be a year. It's going to be a year, but we are now moving away from those energies. Okay, so now with Mars retrograde as of January 6th, it was 6 days ago. Remember, Mars is going to be retrograde in Cancer until next month, but this is and there's that sense of nurturing with Mars and Cancer. There's emphasis on home and family and your loved ones, even homeland, right? Because we're thinking about Cancer, the archetypes of Cancer. And so I want you to just keep that in mind. I have been meditating. I've been putting really great energy up there. It's, again, just feeling very charged up energetically for everything that's happening. My heart goes out to everyone in California. There are some other places that I picked up when I was channeling. I feel like there may be some news that does happen in, the UK, Ethiopia, and New Zealand. So just keep that in mind. And I did, mention. Uh, I don't even remember which ones. I do channeled messages on I was doing some on Instagram, but like even the drones, like things coming out of the water. I mentioned the water. We're gonna see things in the water. Missouri also came up as well. And then there's also someone came up twice, and I really don't want to say their name, but I think there's going to be something. Well, here, okay, why don't I do that? I think there's going to be something. The initials TC, probably going to make a big announcement, or something's going to happen within his orbit. So we'll see that play out, and it is someone that like. I don't even know what newscaster, just a famous figure. But it is a time where there's going to be a lot of changes. Right now, everyone probably feels really emotionally heightened and sensitive, because it's not just Mars retrograde in Cancer. It is the fact that we have over half the planets in water signs, right? Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Pisces. Mars retrograde in Cancer. We have the moon in Cancer, right? And the full moon is tomorrow. So remember, be in touch with your emotions. Be in touch with your emotions and let things go. Okay. This is all about, remember, it is still Mars. It is still Mars. So it's all about being self-empowered, feeling self-empowered in ways that you can help others, in ways that you can even, it's asking you to, grow, have that emotional evolution as well, especially with the full moon. That's you're feeling it right now. You're feeling it right now. It's gonna happen tomorrow. Mars, by the way, is out of bounds. Did I mention that? It just means it's out of it's outside the ecliptic. I think I did mention it in your forecast. I'm not because we will have the sun opposite Mars, and that's the other thing is like, so it's actually literally like its orbit is weird, but it just means Mars can be a little bit more expressive right now. You could be more physically amped up too. So it's kind of interesting because you could be physically amped up, but a little bit like emotionally drained, if that makes sense. So it is just some energies that, again, it's all about it's all about release. And because Mars is going to be conjuncting the moon tomorrow, there may be some hard edges, right? There may be some hard edges to any sort of emotions that you're feeling, and uh explore them. Explore your emotions. Intuition. The moon rules Cancer, so it is a powerful full moon. It's not just because of that as well. I mean, it's conjuncting Mars. You got Neptune trining Mars today. You have the sun trining Uranus. You have the moon trining Uranus. You have the moon opposite Pluto. We have, the Venus square Jupiter. We're just feeling the Venus Saturn conjunction. So there is a lot happening with the full moon, and that's why it's fully loaded. And it's one of the strongest because of every other energies that are happening. I think that tonight is a great night. That tonight the moon in Cancer is going to trine Venus in Pisces. That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. So use that energy. So tonight would be a really good night to, manifest and think about, how you feel emotionally, how you can raise your frequency. Think about your emotions on, a chart, right? That's a frequency, right? We want to go past like 700. I mean, that zone of love and compassion. That's what Venus and Pisces is. Empathy. So really working with your emotions right now it's got to be really nice, and you are intuitively going to know, and in some cases for a lot of you, physically going to know, like what is it that I don't want to bring into 2025 with me, or even just make some adjustments, like this is how I want to feel moving forward. Yeah. All right. So and again, one of the reasons why it's so strong is because it's happening at the same time as the nodal shift. So let's talk about that first. I want to, and I've had a lot of requests from a lot of y'all. And again, thank you so much for being members. And if you are a subscriber watching this, because I will post this after, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. So the nodes. Okay. I want you to know that is also what makes it really strong. Oh, actually, by the way, the full moon tomorrow. Technically, there's a T-square. All right. This is and so because the sun is going to be opposite the moon, right? And it is going to be for Chiron. And so Chiron, remember, is the wounded healer. So again, a lot of you are going to feel this urge to do this healing. Yeah, you're going to feel this urge to do this healing, and don't be afraid to go deep. Remember, Pluto is also active. Pluto is and Pluto is like Pluto is also purging, right? It's purging. It's detoxing. It's transformation. It's the snake shedding its skin, the phoenix rising from its ashes. So that is also just, hey, let's peel some things back and have our transformation, okay, for the greater good. All right. And Pluto is non-negotiable. He's saying you gotta rise above. You gotta rise above. You gotta use my power. Okay. So there is definitely a lot of energies happening right now that you're gonna see just unfold on a global scale. All right. Remember, I talked a lot about this, not only in your last live stream, but also in, I think, your 2025 forecast. And we're just getting started. I mean, did you hear that? We just had 8 major things happen just in 12 days, 2 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of things that are happening. But remember, when you are in tune, when you're in touch with your intuition, when you're vibrating at a high frequency, and you are in touch with your higher mind, you're going to be able to see things a little bit more clearly, right? You're going to be able to see beneath the surface. And there's a lot of things that are hidden from us, right? And Pluto, as Pluto left Capricorn, it it left it kind of left like a little in its wake, like wake up calls for us, right? So I hope that you're seeing things, right? You're seeing things the way that they're meant to be seen. And there is, with a lot of the activity that's happening right now, you're seeing a lot of leaders in the spotlight, and a lot of you know, it's not just the US, it's all over the world. You see a lot happening in, France, Germany, South Korea. It doesn't matter where it is. There's it's things are being brought up to the surface. And so really just trust your intuition in terms of, is this right? Is what's being told to me right? So when you trust your intuition, you will know. You will know. Remember, power to the people. That's what Pluto is. Power to the people. This is all about you. And I am gonna. I don't know. I left a community post. I did a live stream. I was a guest on Serious Joy. I hope that y'all are able to see that. I think I time stamped it too when I actually did. It's like toward the end of the session where I come on board, and that was really fun. And I talk a lot more about what you might be able to expect for 2025, why some of the things are happening, and I used more in terms of me being a channeler, or clairvoyant, or however you want to call it. And I even talked about, like, as a child, how it all started with the trances that I fell in, and I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know that I was clairvoyant or empath or psycho, any of those words. So I hope you get to see that, and maybe I will leave a link in this. Let me leave a link so you can look at it later. It's really fun, and I really enjoyed being on that show. So what let me just, I know I have it somewhere. Let me just leave this link for you. Oh gosh, okay, so there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that. There we go. Okay, there it is. All right. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we talk about the nodes? Because I'm gonna go deep here. I'm gonna tell you what's happening, not only for you for the next 18 months for every sign, but globally, all right, with humanity. Okay, so let me just see if anybody has any questions. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. DJB TV, you have a question about the notes. I'll answer them. I'm sure I'll answer them when I go through the when I talk about, because I'm going to talk about nodal returns and nodal reversals as well, because I've a lot of y'all have been commenting on that. Some of y'all do have your North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Some of y'all have your North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces. But I will talk about that. Danielle, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh, DJ BTV, your birthday is on the 25th. Okay, your birthday's 3 days before mine. I love that. Aquarius in the house. We're we're amazing. Everyone's amazing. All right, so all right, just seeing if there's any question. Okay, so then let's get started with this. Yes, Vicky, yes, you said less than 2 weeks ago, you said Hollywood would change, and now look what's happening out there. Absolutely. So there's, and I don't know if I mentioned in that interview that I did over Friday night, the link that I just left, but there is a reason why I don't go like gangbusters telling you, like, well, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. I have to leave it vague and just kind of like let you, because what it's gonna do is you're gonna be able to touch, get in touch with your intuition and feel those energies too, and see where I'm going with that. And also, it's I'm here to inspire you and empower you and to raise your frequencies. Okay. So if anybody has any questions, oh Danielle, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Oh gosh, you are amazing. Break out the Oh, I love that. Yes, brunch or tea for you. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Danielle, for the $10. Okay. Um, okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Um, the first thing is that okay, we talked about Mars out of bounds. Um, we talked about the T square. Also, Eris. Eris. We're going to talk about more. I'm going to bring up more asteroids, planetoids, because they're pivotal. All right. Um, moving forward. Okay. If you're a tier 3 member this week, I kind of brought up series. And then I'm going to start talking about Eris. Eris went direct. Eris, by the way, is all about your energy, its passion, its desire. That's what Eris represents, creativity as well as sexuality. Eris, the Greek god of love, right? That's so wow. In Aries, yeah. So we'll talk about that moving forward. Eris, like erotic, right? Comes from Eris, Eros. Okay. Maybe I don't know if I can do this. Let me see. Okay, so that's there we go. All right, so we're gonna have a lot of okay, so we'll talk more about Eris moving forward, but a lot of you are feeling that energy, okay, especially if you have Aries placements. Now, um, happy nodal shift. So the North Node, as we know, moved into Pisces, South Node moved into Virgo. Now, another reason why this full moon is going to be really strong is because now the North Node is at 29 degrees in Pisces, conjuncting Neptune. Remember, Neptune is imagination, it's creativity, it's compassion. And this is really big because full moons illuminate. So there's going to be some things illuminated, right, with the full moon. But wow, this is such a wonderful, wonderful conjunction, especially with the full moon. But at the same time, remember, Neptune likes to fog things up a little bit, brings a little bit of illusion, right? There's still like 90% of like no answers for the wildfires like this. So anyway, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. This is all about your mission statement, why you're here. It's karmic lessons, it's evolutionary growth. North Node, the head of the dragon, right? Rahu. Okay. And this, the nodal system is what we've adopted from, Eastern cultures. And that's why it has this strong connotation to karma. And so this is now a big shift that you're having in your life toward your destiny, right? Again, your mission statement, why you're here on earth. Okay. South Node is the tail of the dragon, right? So the North Node, head of the dragon, South Node is tail of the dragon, K2. It happened around 6 p.m. Yesterday. And so I want you to know that the North Node, again, it's more about the future, your direction, where you should be moving or aiming for, okay? And there is a strong connection with others. That's part of this. Usually other people involved, okay? When we're thinking about like even like karmic your karmic journey, and it can be small, it can be big, it can be family, it can be, a global scale, right? And so the South Node would be more about, because we're borrowing it from Eastern philosophies like reincarnation, like past lives. And so things that you're moving away from, South Node is more about things that you've already mastered. Yeah. And so the North Node is going to be in Pisces for 18 months until about mid 2026. North Node, and then South Node is going to be in Virgo. So what does this mean? It's all about the healing path, as I mentioned. And by the way, remember, we're North Node is leaving Aries. So for the past 18 months, since July 2023, a lot of y'all were focused on, in terms of your karmic journey, all right, the direction you're moving in certain areas of your life, it was all about I am. It was all about you. It was all about that confidence. Bring it. What's making me feel confident? There was also a sense of self-sufficiency, maybe entrepreneurial energy. Were y'all thinking about starting your own business or starting a side hustle? A lot of that could have been, a big focus for you since July 2023. That's what Aries energy is. And then remember, it was at 0 degrees last week. We hit that point. So there could have been this big, powerful movement or shift that you had in terms of self-confidence, standing up for yourself, your inner warrior, right? Rising up. Okay. Really high vibes around what's happening right now, really connected to about April 4th to the 8th of last year, 2024. Think about what happened around that time. We had that total solar eclipse in Aries. While I think the sun was actually conjunct the North Node too. And then we had the Jupiter Uranus conjunction just right after that on April 20th. I mean, that was a big, big month. Okay. And so that's what you were experiencing, okay, in different areas of your life, right? Depending on what sign you are, but in general. Therefore, if that was your North Node, South Node was in Libra, right? So that was almost like this undoing when it comes to partnerships or any codependency, clearing the decks, relationships that were not supporting you. And it could have been love, it could have been career, it could have been like a friendship, but there could have been something there. Now, with the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, that is that shift into the 6th and 12th house axis. So it's all about health. Remember, I said it's the healing path, the collective conscious. Okay. We're talking about the North Node in Pisces. Okay. Now it's going to be pretty strong because we still have Neptune and Saturn and moving through this 29, 0, 1 degree all year long, right? Between Pisces and Aries. So it's really doubling down on that spiritual movement. So on a global scale, you're going to see a really big spiritual movement because a lot of y'all are just going to feel more compelled to feel more spiritual, meditation, even the arts, your creative expression. You're probably going to have more vivid dreams, right? Empathy is going to be really strong. That is the, collective unconscious as well. That Pisces energy is just very intuitive. It's very empathic. It's there's a sensitivity to others. Yeah. So again, a lot of people in your life involved, but you can even think of that as the collective. Really strong imagination is going to be through the roof. Your creativity as well, but here's the thing, everything that you're feeling on this unconscious level or even emotional level, intuitive level, it's bringing it to reality. And so there is this strong spiritual movement that you're going to feel. And remember, every sign is going to feel differently, right? In different areas of your life. And you're going to be applying it to, aspects of your life wherever that Pisces energy is for you, right? So, South Node in Virgo archetypes just happen to be healthcare. So, you see how it's, when I say it's the healing path, 2025 is really like super healing. Virgo also, so you're going to see a lot of changes with healthcare, all right, on a global scale. There can be, because this is a South Node, a lot of it, again, is this letting go or realizations, adapting, right? Even revelations that you may have. Virgo also rules the nervous system. Remember, Mercury is the ruler for Virgo. So also the digestive system. So you could see a lot of activity around there. Maybe you're going to be changing up your diet a little bit. but it's you just adapting to these nodes. And um Virgo, I don't know if you remember when we were moving into Virgo season, uh, I talked about how Virgo is all about purification, right? And Virgo's an earth sign, right? So being a lot more practical as well, and uh, not being over analytical, right? Because you're going with this spiritual wave. The North Node, remember the direction you're going, all right? The way forward. And so it's releasing anything that's self-critical. It's not or perfectionist energy. Like, do all your I's need to be dotted? Maybe even reassessing your daily routines. But this is all about like that detoxify, that purity. Virgo energy is service to others. Okay. Healing. It's healing past situations as well. Okay. Your past situations or circumstances, and thinking about what's not healthy for me, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's making those adjustments. There is a sense of like selflessness here as well. So there's also what you're doing for other people as well, making some sacrifices as well. But it really is recognizing those even those small things, right? Am I sitting too much? Should I get up and stretch a little more? Am I getting enough sunlight? Okay. So it is a time for the next 18 months to let go of any of those impurities, right? It's that detoxing, okay? And it can be even a spiritual detox, physical detox, mental detox. This is your healing path, but just know 2025 is all about mindfulness, mind, body, spirit. The collective is going to feel this shift. Again, on a spiritual level, frequencies raised. Remember, I said 2025 are the 4 C's: community, the collective, courage, and consciousness. Okay, so when you're raising your frequency, you're raising your consciousness, you're becoming more aware of things that do have to change. Okay, and you are part of this movement. You're thinking about how you're going to contribute to the collective. So you're going to see this big shift, especially again with the South Node in Virgo and healthcare. You're already seeing things playing out, right? Uh, a reform, yeah. You're going to see these cultural movements, this bigger need for healing. Okay, so I would not be surprised if there are, throughout the year, you're going to see possibly more healing centers, more places. You know how because of office spaces. Um, I would not be surprised if a lot of them are turned into like places where it's all about just being with others in a sense of healing, meditation, yoga, whatever it is, the arts, yeah. Because again, Pisces is all this is the North Node in Pisces. It's all about the collective. It's emotions too. Remember, Pisces has no boundaries. And so it's really being expressive and trusting your intuition. um it's dreams, it's other realms, right? You're going to learn a lot about dimensions this year. Okay, expansion and the subconscious. You're just going to be drawn to healing in some way. Again, that can be in an artistic way, a creative way. You even increasing your faith, yeah, faith in the universe, faith in yourself, faith in whatever you want to put faith in. But like those synchronicities, right? Oh my goodness, like the 1111s and just those moments that you're just like, this is definitely not chance, this is not coincidence. Like, you're going to have a lot more of those, okay? Because you're going to be moving in that direction. You're going to feel it, all right? And remember, Neptune is here with bringing that compassion, creativity, the arts, the pineal gland. This is that energy, okay? And so you are going to see on a global scale, and it can be you, A lot of emphasis on the arts, on musicians, on dance, on spiritual leaders, healers, intuitives, empaths. This is a strong time for that. Okay. Just remember that with Neptune, there's going to be some aspects, just again, that is escapism. So remember, I said Pisces has no boundaries. Like you can go like really out there. So just remember, just, keep that in mind. When you trust your intuition, you know how far you can go. But just dream big. Dream big. This is Pisces. This is a North Node in Pisces. Hasn't happened since 2006, 2008. Okay. And you're going to feel this energy, everything that I just mentioned now, right away. It's at 29 right away. 29 degrees. Okay. So the nodes, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, really brings out those archetypes. And since it's also like this balancing act of the energy that you're feeling with Pisces, the energy of like what you're letting go. So remember, they're going to be opposite, right? The nodes. And so really, really having that great balance of what do I have to let go and what do I have to bring in? What am I going to make room for? Okay. Because the South Node in Virgo, there is this element of making things more in your physical realm. Yeah. Virgo is, earth and even your material world. But again, like I said, this is this healing path that can be mental, social, personal, spiritual, physical, nurturing, nourishing. Okay. This is all about your growth. Okay. So again, a lot of you already went through this between 2006 to 2008, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, but that was 20 years ago. You were a different person. You're a completely different person. You're going to have new experiences now. Okay. Even the planets are in different places. We didn't have Pluto and Aquarius. We didn't have, do you know what I mean? Like, so it is finding your true purpose as well spiritually. Okay. So remember that today you've got the North Node in Pisces conjuncting Neptune. And if you want to write this down, I'm going to give you I'm going to write something else in the banner here. I'm going to give you a date to mark in your calendar. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So I'm going to write this down. I want you to put this in your calendar. Okay. So this is when Venus, Neptune, North Node, Moon, and okay, there we go. Oh, shoot. So that's coming up. That's coming up. You got Venus, Neptune, North Node, Moon, all conjunct in Pisces. So again, where is that in your chart? And remember, every sign, all 12 signs are going to feel this differently, different areas of your life. But wow, that's big. That's big. Okay. And of course, I'm going to talk about it more in your weekly forecast and your February forecast. But just prepare, because remember, that's coming at the same time of the new moon in Aquarius on January 29th. At the end of that, so there's that compressed area of just so much activity, at the end of January. Okay, so again, big spiritual movement that you can expect this year. Hence, awakening. This is the year of the Great Awakening, ascension. Continue to be the best version of yourself, your authentic self. Okay, that's what's you're going to feel it more strongly. All right. And again, you're definitely going to feel a really big transformation, not only within you, but also on a global scale, the collective. Think about like the global community. There's going to be changes. Okay. And also remember, Saturn has been in Pisces for a few years now. So you've already been learning the lessons of what the North Node, it's like Saturn, remember life lessons. You kind of made it would make you learn things the hard way sometimes. And now you have the North Node here. You have the North Node here as well. And so this is it. Go after your destiny. This is go after your calling. Now you know what your mission is, right? And so every sign, again, will feel it differently, but the big emphasis is spirituality, okay? And this big spiritual movement. Does anybody have any questions so far? And if you have any placements in Virgo or Pisces, oh yeah, you're gonna feel you're gonna feel the North Nodes. It really is the biggest ones you want to pay attention to if you have any planets in Pisces or Virgo, are any conjunctions with a North Node or any oppositions. Those really are the ones that matter the most. But here's the thing. If you're a Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you are going to feel the nodal shift the most because it's all the mutable signs are going to feel it. Last year was cardinal signs, right? Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. If you are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, 2026, okay? That's when you've got the North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo. So all the fixed signs are going to start feeling the nodal shifts strongly. And so it really is all about going with this flow of where you know you need to go. It's all about the big picture. Remember, that is what Pisces energy is. Jupiter being the ruler for Pisces, right? The traditional ruler, all about the big picture. South Node, the things that you're letting go. Virgo, it's all about, the fine details. So this is a year, it's a healing, holistic path, but big picture think about the big picture for you, okay? And if you do have a planet conjuncting your North Node in your chart, I mean, you're just going to have a lot more emphasis there, okay? So does anybody have any questions? And by the way, with Pisces and Virgo, the North Node, the true node in Pisces, right? In Virgo, because they are mutable signs, there's a sense of like flexibility and adaptability. Okay, so it's really nice. You are definitely going after your life purpose. You're going to be growing, having karmic changes, transformations. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. All right. So any questions so far? Let's see. Let me just kind of scroll through some things that's coming up here. Leslie, I'm up for this year, super healing and process. What year 24 was? I'm ready for 25. Loads on. Jimmy, thank you. You're amazing. No, you're amazing. Thank you, Leslie. So yes, 2025, like I said, is going to be very, 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 very different from 2024. It is the brink of something new. Everyone's going to be going through some really profound shifts and changes. Yeah, really big ones. 2025, very big. And again, you're already seeing things that are just, I mean, we're not even halfway through the month, and you're seeing a lot of things happening that are ultimately it's like inevitable. It's making you like, oh, I've got to wake up. I got to see what's going on. So you're starting, like it's that pineal gland. Focus on the pineal gland. Okay, so now, so if you're basic, okay, so now let's talk about the nodal return. If you are around, let's say like 18, 37 years old, 55, 74, you're going through your nodal return. So the nodal return, if you have your North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, okay, this is when you're going to find for the next 18 months, you're going to find it's a little bit more effortless for you to move toward your destiny. Okay. You have it in your chart. You've worked with it like your entire life. And so you are more likely going to feel that external like events or circumstances in your life are going to really inspire you to embrace the qualities of your North Node, okay? Of your North Node in Pisces. So, y'all are good. Y'all are good. You're going to feel this, you're going to ride this wave. It's going to feel really good. Now, if you are around like 27, 46, 64, 83, that's your reverse, your nodal reversal, okay? Your reverse nodal return is what you can call it as well. Now, and that means that you have your North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces. This would mean that you have a chance to kind of like revisit a lot of that South Node activity and shape it to make it more your own, really owning it. Okay. And it would be any, let's say, low energy frequencies. You're just going to have a lot of emphasis in, I'm really stepping up to now let these areas in my life or focuses or circumstances or events, I'm going to let them go or adjust them so I can vibrate at a higher frequency. Okay. So it almost is kind of like going back to rediscovering all the amazing qualities of your South Node. Yeah. And Pisces. And really, again, just kind of owning it as you move forward. And so it may be a little bit more effort than someone who has their nodal return, but it is still this great time because again, what it does is it helps you awaken because it is that healing path. It's spiritual. It's very spiritual. And so that's what if you have a reversal, okay? And again, a lot of y'all, I mean, the great thing about this, whether you're going through your nodal return or reversals, it is a lot of just this awareness in receiving confirmation, right? Those little synchronicities, those winks from the universe, all of that, those confirmations that you're on the right path because you are trusting your intuition a lot more now, okay? A lot more now. Um mm. So, and remember, there are multiple timelines. There's so many timelines that you can be on. You get to choose your timeline. You get to create your reality. And so really, really know that again, this is 18 months. And of course, I'm going to talk more about, the nodes, they will have aspects throughout the year. And we'll talk about them when they come along. I mean, I just gave you one now. I think that let me see if there's any other dates that I mean that because that one's coming up. Let me just see. I feel like there's going to be a big moment in April, right? I think that there was one. Um, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's when Venus will conjunct Saturn and the North Node in Pisces. Um, let me put that in the thing if you want to take a screenshot or oh shoot, I put it in the comments. All right, okay, let me do this again. All right. Okay, there we go. Venus in Pisces conjunct Saturn, North Node and Pisces. There should be an S after that one. Okay. I fixed it. All right, in Pisces. So if you just want to prepare for that or just know that something big for you will happen around that time. again, wherever Pisces, all that energy right now, like for instance, that would be like if you're an Aquarius, you know that this is your second house, the self-worth, self-value, but also money, money, right? If you're a Gemini, this is your 10th house of fame, career, your reputation. So look forward to a lot of these bigger aspects that's gonna, that's gonna happen throughout the year. All right. Did I miss anything? I didn't miss anything, right? I wanted it to talk about the nodes and the nodal shifts. So, um, and then remember the full moon tomorrow, but it's gonna be it's such a great full moon. I want you to know it's such a great full moon. Okay, use it, use it. It's a great full moon in terms of healing and letting things go, and even putting a lot of attention with your loved ones and home and family. And it is conjunct Mars, sure, that's happening. Um, but remember, you can use that, like, power up, power up. I did I say I natally have Mars? I did, right? In the beginning of this, my Mars. So I have Mars retrograde in my chart. I'm going through that. My Mars retrograde return. It's in Cancer at 28 degrees. And so the full moon conjuncting Mars, 24 degrees. So I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it. I've definitely I've shed skin. I let some things go. I've had my moments. And remember, don't forget to go talk to the moon. Go talk to the moon. Go outside. All right. Go outside, talk to the moon, tell the moon what you want. Okay. What you want to release. Speak it into the ether. Okay. Speak it. Don't hold things in. Speak it out loud. All right. Remember, everything is energy, including the words that come out of your mouth. Okay. And frame it in a way where it makes you feel empowered. It's going to be a beautiful moon anyway. And then remember, Mars is the closest it's been to Earth in many years. That's going to be beautiful. So beautiful. Please. And it's actually, you're going to see it right at the tip of the moon. It's right there. It's so interesting. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be very bright. Talk to Mars. Venus and Saturn, you can see very clearly now. I remember I went outside last night looking up. I wanted to just look at the moon and, tell it a couple things. I remember seeing Venus and Saturn, and I live in New York City. We don't get sky, right? So I have to like really kind of be in a certain area. And it was clear. I could see it. And it's so go talk to the planets. But the real reason you want to do that is you just want to be connected. Like, we are all connected. Everything is energy. Everything is energetic. We're all on a frequency. Earth has a frequency. Planets have a frequency. You want to get on that frequency. But also you just want to be outside of nature, reconnect. Okay. Or connect. All right. So let me see if there's any other. Okay. So I want to look at some of y'all's questions. What's going on with y'all? Let me see if I can answer some questions for y'all, or y'all saying things. Tell me what's going on. Let's see. Matthew and DJ BTV, y'all have the same birthday. That's amazing. And hey, remember, if you are an Aquarius, we are moving into Aquarius season very soon. You're gonna feel that. I just did your forecast for when we move into Aquarius season. I'm not even joking. With the sun conjuncting Pluto right at that time, remember, that's once a year. Once a year. Okay. And the sun is going to conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. So nobody, remember, Pluto's freshly new in Aquarius, 250 years. So nobody on Earth has ever experienced what we're about to experience. Okay. Around, and I'll post your, but it's big. Okay. And that's for every sign. It's just, wherever Aquarius is in your chart. Does anybody have Mars retrograde? Late degree? On Also, here's the other thing. If you are, okay, let me just, if you are, if you have zero, if you're a fixed sign, if you are a Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus, you could be really feeling that Pluto energy with Mars opposite Pluto, right? That you could have been really feeling that, especially if your planets are like 0 to 2 degrees. I get a lot of requests for teaching, right? And I might start doing like little things like that. I mean, I feel like does anybody have any questions about the nodal shifts? I feel like I talked a lot about it in your 2025 forecast and in the week ahead, but I just wanted to give you more context and what you can expect and just remind you, because there's so many aspects happening. It's hard to keep up, right? With so many things happening right now. But I hope that was educational. I hope that was educational, brought clarity. Remember, everyone already, your birth chart, you already have your north node in a certain sign anyway, south node in a different sign anyway. So those, remember, those are you. That's you. That's your, birth chart. But this nodal axis, it's highlighting other areas of your chart. Okay, so let me just see if there's any questions. Anyone have any questions? Let's see. Yep, that's absolutely right. Super healing, Marshall. Marshall, isn't today your birthday? Didn't you, is that today or was that yesterday? Carla, really great to see you. You're late to the party. Well, the party's just begun now that you're here. Great to see you, Carla. Marshall, you said 8 health centers and hospitals just built in your area. That's amazing. Lori, you asked, what about of us born at or on 11/11 with your ascendant with Sagittarius rising at 29 degrees? I'm not sure what your question is, but that's amazing that you have that. Yeah, I'm not sure what your question is, but that's 29 degrees, critical degree. Sagittarius rising, by the way, because you are Sagittarius rising, considered a very lucky rising sign, right? Because Jupiter is your ruler, right? So Sagittarius rising wasn't there. I think I mentioned it in the forecast here, but let me just double check in your weekly forecast. That's coming up. That'll drop on Wednesday. I just okay, maybe not. Maybe. Oh yeah. I was mentioning Sebastian Stan, right? He's that actor. He's Sagittarius rising. He just won that award, that Golden Globe. Demi Moore, Pisces rising, right? She won. She's a Scorpio, y'all. She's a Scorpio. Adrian Brody, Virgo rising and moon. He has a moon in Virgo like me. He won an award. So Summer, you ask, okay, Summer, you ask, are we to look at our natal chart placements regarding February 1st, or is it our transit chart? Okay, so well, with that date, yeah, it's the transit chart. But if you again have any planets in Pisces, Virgo, just take a look. And we'll talk more about that at that time. Maybe Lori, that's her question. The 29 degrees Sagittarius rising when I talked about February 1st. But yeah, it really depends on the planets there. But you are mutable, yeah. So see what connects, but it will definitely have an impact on you in a big way. Now I get it. Now I get what you're saying. Okay. Lori. All right. Kat, you asked any advice for you with a 0 degree Saturn, 0 degree Mercury, both in Pisces in your 10th house. Yeah, buckle up, cat. Buckle up. Um, you're yeah. There's gonna be you're a Gemini rising. I would, with you being Gemini rising, I would pay more attention to the fact that Uranus is moving into your sign in July. So that's gonna be a thing. All right. So but yeah, that's you've got a lot going on there. Pisces, the 0 degree Mercury and Saturn in your 10th house. So we've kind of moved past that. Remember all the well, Mercury moves so fast, but I'd pay attention to, is it February? Mercury will be in Pisces, so you will definitely have some activity there. And we'll talk about that when Mercury does move into Pisces. Um, Karen, you said January 29th. That is the day of the new moon. It's big, it's enormous. It's our first new moon of January, and it's a big one. It's a day after my birthday. Kat, your birthday's February 1st. Okay, so any other, let me just keep going. There's a lot actually. Wow. Okay. Tammy, you said your North Node is in Aries. Will I feel some relief or change with the North Node moving to Pisces? Well, it depends on how much work that you put into again, this is all, you have to take those inspired actions. Remember, this is a healing path where things are going to happen. Like what with the North Node in Aries, that means that you had big moments, the past year and a half. That was, you had the North Node there, but it makes things, like I said, more effortless. Like you've had it in your chart your entire time. So it's like, don't expect like the North Node to just kind of like drag you on a sled into your destiny. You've got to do the work. So if you want to feel relief, make that happen. Take the action to feel relief. Yeah. It's going to be very different for you, but yeah, it's still doing work in that area of your life, the Pisces area in your chart. And that is, your 12th house, right? It should be. And so that's so much spiritual work that it's going to be very moving for you. Karen, you asked which app is good for telling me where my North Node is. Okay. I would recommend astro.com or astro/seek.com. I don't mind astro charts either. I don't mind that. I think they do it. I think it's a little bit more visually friendly, right? Visually friendly for if you're new to all this, okay? Leo, do you know about Vedic astrology? I was trained in Western, but I do know enough. But I'm not like, yeah, it's a whole other system. All right. Okay, so some of these questions are just about charts, so I'm just gonna keep Danielle. Oh, you have Jupiter in Aquarius in your chart. You're a Cancer, and you said Jupiter. Yeah. So Jupiter's moving into Cancer mid-year. And so it really just depends on I mean, there's so many factors, but because you are a Cancer, yes, absolutely. You're a Cancer. You're gonna have, it starts the best year that you've had since 12 years. But you have to see, so all the planets are having conversations. So when you look at your birth chart, what really matters the most are the aspects. You have to look at the aspects that the planets are having, and you also have to look at what houses they're in, right? And so that's very, very, it's more specific to you. Okay. Okay. So where am I? Oh gosh, the thing just changed. There we go. All right. So Any other questions? Marshall, I don't know. You asked if the fires are going to be put out this week. Well, let's hope they are. Let's hope they are. Remember, we are, even just on a global, if you think about the collective, the full moon in Cancer is everyone's going to feel that. And you feel that on a mundane level as well. Remember, there's a lot of Uranus aspects that are active during the full moon. That does bring a lot of breakthroughs and progress, with the full moon being the end of something, and that's playing out. So remember, the full moon's tomorrow, but everyone's already feeling it, right? Because it's you feel it days before, you feel it days after, even weeks after, where you can still be in the process of healing and uh, having a turning point. You're going to start feeling that, okay? But there's there's a lot happening right now. There's a lot happening, and like I said, there's going to be a lot more to come. The Sun conjunct Pluto, and remember, every aspect, it really depends. The aspects really depend on what sign it's in as well. Countries have charts as well, right? Like, every country has their own birth chart. So places have birth charts. It's not just people. And so you feel a lot of things happening based on, like, let's just say there's got to be a lot more that's going to be revealed. Pluto has just begun. Pluto, and I explained this a little bit more in your weekly forecast that I'm going to drop it. Pluto likes to excavate. Remember, Pluto is Scorpio's ruler, right? And so there is a sense of like mysteries and secrets and things coming to the surface. We're going to feel a lot of that. We're going to see a lot of that. And so that's why I say there's a lot of things that are happening now that it's heavier energies, but you're going to start seeing things pick up, right? It's going to be very soon. And then with the Sun conjunct Pluto on January 20th, 21st, okay, that conjunction is so strong to Pluto Cazimi. You're going to start feeling it this week. And I want you to remember, with any of these aspects, you have to go with the higher expressions of them, because there's sometimes lower expression. So you have to let it empower you, okay? And you have to feel empowered. You have to use them. I always say it, use these aspects. Don't let them use you. And yes, there is this purge. There's this purging that's happening on its spiritual level. Okay, so I hope everyone's feeling that. I hope everyone's feeling these the North Node. The North Node. I mean, like, in Pisces, it's very, very healing. It's very different from the North Node being in Aries, South Node being in Libra. It is a huge shift. So again, big focus on health, healing, healthcare, spirituality. Use it. And that's part of this. It just happens to be during 2025, the year where it is, like I said, a year, even astrologically, with the outer planets all changing signs in this compressed period of time, that we haven't seen ever in modern human history, with the fact that Pluto also is in Aquarius as well. You throw in the North Node and the South Node. Oh yeah, this is a big year of consciousness awakening. Okay, so the more that you're awake, the more that you're aware, when you hear, when some bigger events happen, it doesn't push you in like a low energy frequency, right? There's, I was talking to a friend recently. A lot of people in the past week have been felt uncertainty, maybe have been doom scrolling, right, on their phones because there were so many things happening. And so that's what I'm saying. When you are conscious, when you are aware, when you're tapped into that energy of love and inspiration and peace and healing, you don't do any of that. You see how you can help. You have those moments of like, let me raise the frequency for everybody in this world, for people in my family, for people that I love. Yeah. So, okay, y'all. Thanks so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. Thanks for being members. Y'all, it's what a year. What a year. It really has begun, right? But there's a lot more to come in just this month, just in January. So remember to use these energies to feel empowered, to empower yourselves. And I say that because with Mars retrograde, again, that is still that's still happening. And so it's really taking those inspired actions, these meaningful actions, almost what's the term for it, like really taking those actions, like not holding back, right? Because that Mars retrograde, it can feel like quicksand, okay, especially with all the aspects that we're having. But again, we're moving out of it, but you've got to take those steps too. And you're going to be absolutely fine. You're going to be amazing. Time will tell. Hello, you said your north node is in okay, so you're going through your nodal return, 3 degrees in the third house. As long as I put in the work, will this next year and a half be hold on, productive? Well, it's up to you. Remember, that's up to you. It's up to you. And you're gonna feel more if your north node is in Pisces. Absolutely, you're gonna feel it, but you're gonna feel it more toward it's early 2026 if it's at 3 degrees, but you're still feeling it. Like the early 2026 is where it's like a surge of that spirituality. Like you're gonna feel like I don't know, like a whole other level, like transcendent. But you're gonna start, but yes, you absolutely started feeling it yesterday because their north node is in Pisces. So yeah, you create your reality. So put in the work, yeah, and you're gonna be absolutely amazing. You already are. Yeah, it is the year of 9 as well. Okay, so y'all remember that. That is, woo. So again, I talked about that so many times. Lori, you said we need you at the helm. Captain Jimmy said thank you. Well, no, thank you. Thank you all. Mackenzie, thanks, Jimmy, for reminding me to be loving and kind. Yes, let's work with it. Oh my goodness, just let it out and just remember. Even in that interview that I did on Friday, that live stream, he asked me what was the number one thing that you would recommend people do to raise their frequency. Well, it starts with self-love. Okay, it starts with self-love. Don't doubt yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. You matter. Okay, it starts with self-love and have that self-love. So y'all, okay, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you so much for being members. If you're a subscriber, we'd love to have you join as members. We're gonna do some fun things. Okay, y'all, thank you so much for being here. And I think I'm gonna do something I'm gonna do something fun for y'all in February. But I'm gonna keep it a secret. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. But y'all, thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. Have happy full moon. Have an amazing full moon moment. All right. Remember, let things go. Let things go and use it to be in touch with your emotions. Right. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, y'all. And I'll see you soon. All right. And your forecast for for the Pluto Cazimi that we're about to have, they're done. All right. So I will I gotta put them together and then I'll post them on Wednesday. All right, y'all. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing weekend. All right. Thank you. Y'all are amazing. I love you all. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.